What's going on, everyone? Hopefully you like the new intro compliments of Dave Digital. Yeah, that squeaking at the end is part of the deal. It was part of the script. So it wasn't any kind of feedback. It was on the music. So welcome, Billy Go Tails. Let's say hello to everybody. What's going on, Jimmy Jim?
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Jimmy.
What's going on, man?
All good, brother.
Been moving salt all day.
Been what?
Moving salt.
No kidding. That doesn't sound like fun, Jimmy.
It was not fun, especially for the simple fact that they keep the salt in the furthest back corner of the Lowe's, and then I need to get 500 pounds of it. So I had to push it from one end of the store to the other, and then out to my truck, and then carry it from the curb to the water softener. So yeah, I'm a little grumpy.
Okay.
Sweaty.
Right.
I'm hot.
Now we know why. What's going on, Biomax? Good to see you, man.
Crikey, what's going on, fam? What's going on? That was not so great of an Australian accent, but no, glad to be here this Sunday. We should have some good fun today, talking about a few different crypto topics and getting to know. There's some sneak peeks I think we're going to share a little bit later, so I'll let you do that later on, Billy.
Oh yeah, man. Dave Digital, what's going on, Dave?
Max. What's going on, y'all? Might be in a losing trade on ADA right behind me there. We'll have to see what happens. I'm thinking it's coming back down, but Billy's thinking it's going back up. And one thing I've learned is you just don't bet against Billy. So we'll have to see what happens.
I don't know about that, brother. I don't know about that. We're all in it together. Let's see who's in the chat. Say hi to chat. Of course, we got Blocky. Good to see you, Blocky. Darren does things. D's in the building. Jesse, good to see you. Appreciate you. Andrea, Armad. Alexandra did text me and said she's got family business going on out of town today, so she won't be here. Let's see, who else do we got here? I think Blocky's in here. Tex-Mex, of course, all you guys. So Mike V, Mike Vollmer. Oh, there's Rocco. What's going on, Rocco? Let's go ahead and share out. Let me drop this invite into the there we go.
Don't mind me as I fart in the chat.
Yeah, so Tex-Mex, Biomex working on Nightbot. I don't know how we coming on that, Tony. I know you was messing around with it.
Hey, to everybody in the chat, feel free.
Looks like it's in there working. Dave Digital's already launched the first salvo.
Let's see it. Does it work?
Yeah, it works. It's
yeah,
already
type
in there.
exclamation point fart. Oh wait, what are you doing letting Nightbot time people out?
I don't know. K-Dig, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Rocco, good to see you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, well, let's just start right off. Let's hit some crypto bubbles. Tony, you ready?
I'm ready. All right, so it looks like Trump coin has had a big pump. It was at 190% on the month earlier, but it's still up 189%. Ultima, TEL, XCN, OM. So we got a lot of green out there as far as for a few, some really big green numbers for a few coins, but still much of the crypto space is looking red, although Trump's, bumping around and pushing people around, pushing CAS around, pushing OP around, Uniswap around. So anyways, I'm moving the bubble around, but on the weekly, excuse me, on the weekly, we got a lot more green all around. Cake is up 65%. I wonder why that is. I'm sure we'll get into that later. Litecoin's up almost 20%. XRP 15.5. We were talking with our friend Miguel, the blockchain crusader earlier. All of us know that he is an XRP hater, or not really an XRP lover. And so shout out to Miguel, shout out to blockchain crusader. I don't know that we invited him today. He had some other stuff planned, but he may be on with us some other day. And we thank you for your input, brother. What else? Dogecoin up 7.9. So a bunch of green on the weekly. Let's check the daily. A little bit of a mix. Some of the I think we talked about it before, Billy. Maybe we shouldn't let the colorblind guy do the bubbles, but I can still look at the percentages. So not a lot of big. We did it again. So Cake is up 7.3%. Ray, I'm not sure what Ray is, but it's down 5.8. Jupe 5.4. Litecoin is down. So there's a little bit of movement up and down, but not, you can kind of see it's almost like grayed out green and red that don't have too much really big, large numbers, but Cake's up that much. Let's check the hourly.
Yeah, they say that that Cake run has to do with the CZ talking about memes and then share the story about broccoli. And so they have I don't remember what it's called, but a pump.fund type deal right over there on the BNB chain. And so that's why the Cake is getting this.
Eat your broccoli, but don't eat the dog broccoli.
That's the Uniswap. What was that, Billy? What was that?
I said eat your broccoli, but just don't eat the dog broccoli.
Yeah, for what I heard, they put out 1,000 different thousands of different broccoli.
I'm sure. So on the hourly, everything's up slightly, 0.5%, 0.7%. So we'll see where your trade goes. Dave, are you in a short or are you in a long?
I'm short.
All right, Dave's in a short, so I'm hoping that you'll be able to get some gains out of that, and then if the market turns and starts heading up, then you'll be out in time and safely. So not a whole lot of big moves just right now on the hourly, but I think that's what else. That's all we got right now on the bubble side. Billy, anything else?
Gotcha. Let's just get right into the market update then, Dave. We'll hit that now. All right, let me see if I can blow this thing up for you guys a little bit. I'm always on this wide screen. I don't know if that helps.
Let's blow up that market cap. Get it rolling.
The market cap. Let's see here. Can you guys see that okay? I know my screen's a little goofy, but anyways, here's what's important. 3.2 trillion global market cap. Wow, man, I remember when it was a trillion and below. 3.2, it's down a little bit, but fear and greed at 41. Wow. I mean, think about this. Bitcoin's at 96,000 basically, and fear and greed's at 41. That is absolutely amazing to me. Ultima up here, trending coins, Ultima, GLM. Litecoin, look at Litecoin. It's of course locally here it's down a little bit, but it's at $126. Remember, anything over 100 on Litecoin, a lot of people celebrate, especially coming out of the bear and into the bull. I don't know what this coin is. ID, maybe someone in the chat knows what that one is, but that one's up 7.2%, and then ACH up 13.36. Bitcoin right now. Let me just make sure I refresh this thing and. Boom, Bitcoin 97,156 right now. Ethereum is at 26,683, and of course XRP is at $2.76. Look at the dominance. The dominance is 59.83, so it's actually come down a little bit because we were past 60 there for a few days. So dominant, that's good to see. I mean, we can talk about that, but if we want all coin seasons, at some point in time, the dominance does have to back down and at some point in time, right? So let me see if I can get over here. Of course, I got to pop up all of a sudden. It gets in my way of what I'm trying to do. Boom, boom, boom. You can take that off. There you go. Stop sharing. Boom. Okay, bam, there we go. We're back now. So yeah, market update. Look, if you're trading and Dave's in a trade, I'm in a trade. Just so happens I'm going one way with it. Dave's going the other way with it. But you can find that everywhere. I've been trading the last week or so, ADA, Cardano, and did very well overall. But these are scalps, or excuse me, swings. So these are swing trades I'm doing, spot only, no leverage. Been working out pretty good for me. Looking at, and when we bring DDT up here in a little bit later, we'll get into some of the actual trade setups. I did want to hit, before I forget, because I know I'll forget, I did want to hit that tomorrow, Monday, I will be on TradeFly's show, so make sure you tune in. tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's going to do it a little different. He's doing like a little fireside chat. Wanted to change it up a little bit. Invited me on. Certainly want to help those guys out. And of course, I accepted that invitation. Then Tuesday, we have our X-Base at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Want to check that out. We have Interlink on. Frank, you wait till you see what they're building in the crypto space. We can't wait to bring that space to you. And then Wednesday, I will be in Greensboro, and I'm going to be, at this point, we're going to try to do a live stream with Chris Rice from his studio. So hopefully we can make that happen on Wednesday. We don't have a time set for that yet. And then Thursday, the crypto coin mindset, Keith over there and Bedell are doing a series on personal finance, and we're going to be a part of that. So we got a full lineup this week, and it's going to be interesting because I'm going to be traveling as well. So I'll be like, by the way, I'll be doing a space, Tony and Jimmy and Dave from a hotel on Tuesday night. So anything can happen with that hotel Wi-Fi, just so you guys know.
Well, no problem. We'll be ready to go and have plenty of questions for our guests Tuesday. So
yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. We got K Dig, good to see you. AJ, good to see you. What else we got in here? Of course, we got Rocco. Let me keep scrolling down here. And Mike, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe, share this out so we can get some people in here. We have noticed that the second hour of Billy Goat Tales here on Sundays, we pick up a lot of viewers, so it must be some algo thing that we're still not privy to, trying to figure out ourselves. So, but yeah. So how's the trade going, Dave?
Looks like it's doing all right. I mean, we're not all the way out yet. We're not even in the red quite yet. And so this is where the POC is. So I expect target balloons here. This is normal. No big deal.
Well, this is for trying to get fully funded, right? Right, Dave? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And you're almost there, though, right?
20%.
Okay. All right.
20% to go.
20% of the way.
Oh. Get with it, Dave.
Yeah. Working on that. I mean, you win some, you lose some. You can't win them all, but you risk manage and you just take them as they come, This is what it is.
Why don't you explain that whole setup that CryptoFace has going on over there? I know you've done it before, but that's been like a month ago or so. So why don't you explain that process?
It's just breakout prop trading. So it's at breakoutprop.com, and you just go over there. And what happens is, they have different levels for $50 or $100 or like $900. Then you can use their money. So $50, you can use $5,000 of their money. But first you have to qualify. So you pay the $50, and then you have to make a $500 profit on the $5,000 in trading that you have before you lose $250. And then if you lose $250, you just start over. So that's the goal, basically. But it's if you trade anything like I trade on with your own money, so you won't take your whole account ever, right? So you'll take $50 or whatever it is, $1,000, $100, whatever you trade with, you'll take it and you'll put it on the trade. But that's in your head. You can lose up to 30% on that, 40%. It's not a big deal because that's not your whole bag. That's just your trade, So it's not like you're risking your whole bag. You're just risking that amount and whatever your stop loss is in there. But whenever you're trading, you can only lose the 250, but your goal is to make 500 first. It's different. Now you're really just trying to play with 1%, and then of course you want to do a 3-to-1, and then you even want to do lower than that. For me, I want to lose 0.33% and then gain a 1%, so it's different numbers, for me. It's
so
harder.
is all these leverage? So or can you do without leverage at all? Do you have
You
to
can
have
pick how much Bitcoin you want to put on it. So if you're trading Bitcoin, you don't really know if it's a 5x Bitcoin or if it's a 3x. You just know that out of the 5,000, I'm putting up $1,100 or a 0.15 Bitcoin or 0.10010 Bitcoin or whatever it is. So it doesn't really show you on the platform, or at least I don't know how to see that part where it shows you how many X you are. I just know that of the account, I'm using this much basically.
Yeah, so the key is really, really tight stop losses so you don't lose that percentage so you can continue on your path to being funded, right?
Basically, yeah. So like if I were to take out another trade, let's just say over here, and I would pick it out, and I would go to pick my stop loss. Let's say I put it at 80 cents. And it's $80. There. And then I would need some more. Let's apply. So let's put that one. And then you can see that you can just change the amount of ADA that you're using, and right down here on the percent of the balance, do you see it? Is it? Yeah, you can see it behind me. It says 0.36% or $18 if I bet $1,000 or if I put 1,000 ADA on it. And that'll change, of course, if I add more or take more away. See, and the same with Bitcoin, but it doesn't really tell me that that's 5x or 10x or 20x or whatever it is. I just kind of get a look at it that way, and that's how I would manage my risk. So really,
That's
I would
interesting.
Yeah, and then you would want your, let's say this was at 0.72. And so that's a decent trade, right? So if it's going to go to 72 cents, you're about a 3-to-1 ratio. I would wait probably so this came down a little bit lower, probably to $12, and then I would take the shot. So it's harder to only lose that little bit or to keep it in such a small move for me. It's easier with my own money, and I can just say, okay, my stop loss is here. I can go 50, 60x. That's within my stop loss on this $50, and I'm cool. If I lose 25 of the $50, whatever, that's what I came to do. Because if I win, then I won $75, and I'm cool with that.
So is that system almost training you how to be a very successful trader too?
I think so. I think that's and deep inside me, I think that's really my motivation here is I want to get it. And I know some people, they're funded in one day, but some of those same people, some of them are very successful and they keep on moving on and making great money with it, like Tino. But some of those same people, they get funded in one day and then they lose their funding, that same day. And then they get funded again, they lose their funding. So it's just back and forth. I think that once you do get it, I think it's a very useful tool. And I think you're in an elite class of trader at that point.
Yeah, I'm giving my second shot now. I just started my second shot out this week. I'm about to start my trades this week as I do my research and get prepared as well. On that big pump a while ago in January, I got funded in a day, and then I also didn't pay attention to the fact that you can only use so much in a day, and then I got unfunded in the first day. So
yeah, I think
it's a useful tool.
But as far as people say, oh, I think it's a scam, it depends on how you look at stuff. You can also think that school's a scam or education is a scam, or if you have to buy a book, that's a scam. I think it's a tool. And I think that it's got risk to reward in there built in. It's got reward and punishment, because if you don't want to lose the money, you don't want to lose the money, right? So it's your barrier. And so I think it makes it worth it. I think it's cool. And like I say, I think once I get it, it'll be a lot better. And once you do anything, something clicks in your mind. It does become easier to do whatever that thing was. We talked about it before, I think, with the 4-minute mile. Once that somebody saw him do it, now everybody wants to do it. But before that, nobody could do it.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I can't wait to see you guys' results. So when are you jumping back in, Tony?
Well, I jumped in and got my account, and now I have the platform. I'm actually looking at it right now as Dave's looking at his trades. But I'm I've been working on different AI training stuff this last couple of weeks and putting some other my focus elsewhere. So my goal is to really get into the charts and look through and find out where I'm at mindset wise, make sure I'm ready to jump back in. So I've been looking at the charts, but this week I'm going to jump in and do that before I just jump in and just take a trade on a whim. So it's building that mental toughness, building that habits, right?
Good habits. Got to have good habits, man. That reminds me, stick around to the end, because at the end, close to the end, we're going to be talking about our trip that we're giving away to the lake house in South Carolina. That is going to happen.
There's a
And
rumor
so
there's a date. Is there a date? Is there a rumor
there's
there's
rumor
a date?
there's a date now. And remember, to be able to get on that wheel to win that trip, you have to have one of our Billy Goat Tales book NFTs with the Easter egg on it in the metadata, the EE, the Easter egg. So as long as you have one of those, you're going to be on the wheel. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I just want to throw that out because it's going to be cool to meet whoever wins, and it's totally it's going to be totally a good time. We just planned something with that trip that we didn't even think about until today, and so we're working on it. But we'll talk more about that later on in the show here. What else do we got, gentlemen? We do have the big, Solana news, right? So let me see if I can pull this up. So Franklin Templeton, let's see here. Give me 1 second. Got to present, got to share, got to do all that good stuff. Let's see. And we might, according to Jimmy, we might open the club later too. Don't, Dave. Don't, not yet. I saw his hand. Let's see here. Let's go to this. Yeah, so you guys can probably see that better now, right? So this is some good news. Franklin, whoops, let me go back. Doggone it. Now I messed it up. Where'd it go?
If Google wants to sponsor us, go for it. But
there we go.
Billy's searching using the Google, man.
Yeah, so Franklin Templeton launches U.S. government money fund on Solana. What does that mean, guys? Well, think about that. That's institutional building on Solana. So we're Solana's known for their meme coins. Solana's known for a lot of things back in the day, right? Good and bad. But here we go. Franklin Templeton. Franklin Templeton, a financial service company with 1.6 trillion of assets under management, has launched its U.S. government fund on Solana. Pretty big news there. U.S.-based financial service company, 1.6 trillion, announced February 12th. It launched on-chain U.S. government money fund, which is ticker FOBXX, on layer 1 Solana blockchain. The move marks the latest expansion of FOBXX, which launched in 2021 on another blockchain. Now, this is interesting because when you start seeing, in my estimation, these institutions with all these chains out here, they're picking Solana. And that, I think, is good, in my humble opinion, for the long-term for Solana. So let's see. One of the things we found interesting was that FOBXX is available on several blockchains, not just Solana, but it's on Ethereum, Avalanche, Arbitrum Base, Polygon, Aptos, and some others. Now, Franklin Templeton FOBXX launch on Solana is following on the heels of another tokenized institutional investment fund that recently debuted on the network. So you can see here that Franklin Templeton has been active in the crypto space, launching Bitcoin and ETH exchange-traded funds, ETFs, in January and in July of 2024, respectively. The company is seeking approval from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to launch a crypto index ETF as well, a crypto index ETF. That is going to be interesting play, and that's going to ramp up, traditionalists that like to stay in the traditional marketplaces instead of the crypto marketplaces. So, what do you guys think about this? Is this good, bad? What's the team's thought on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's adoption by institutions. I mean, they're definitely going to shore up the technology. Obviously, they see value in it. They're using it. I mean, I don't really see a downside other than the more institutional money that ends up pouring into the system. The less of those big up and down games is going to start making the market trade like a stock market. Probably still a volatile stock market, but I mean, I think it's good overall. I mean, you need to make your money now before things settle down. And, we're already seeing it this market. I mean, crap. We went from 14,000 tokens to millions in one cycle. I mean, what's it going to be next cycle? 10 million? That's going to dilute everything even more. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rusty was saying that he heard that the 50% of the transactions on Solana failed, and he's hoping for the Firedancer fix. But I think that also has to do with how Solana's used. I think it's used heavily for meme coins, and whenever there's a pump going on a meme coin, there's congestion. Whenever there's a big launch, there's congestion. So we're just going to have to deal with that, I think, for now, that they're going to have failed transactions because all of the hype that's going on. I mean, when Trump launched his coin, the whole world's going to go buy it. And that showed in its market cap how fast that it went up there. So I think that Solana handling as many transactions as it does is amazing. And I think we just have to know, just like we'll show our age here a little bit, back when you used to call the request line on Friday night to send your girl a message on the radio, you had to wait. You had to hear the busy, and you had to recall back, and you had to hear the busy, and you had to recall back, and you had to hear the busy. It's the same thing. You just have to deal with it. That's the technology that we have right now.
You actually did that, Dave?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's some good stuff right there.
Trying, love it, or leaving.
That's some really good stuff, man. You romantic, you. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, well,
How's
I
this
mean,
fair for Solana?
look, overall, I mean, I know that people may knock the pump.fun, the meme coin craze, but Solana's revenue, based on some researchers, Solana's revenue 10x Ethereum's apps. Different apps on Solana, all the different pump fun and meme coins. The revenue 10x Ethereum's. I can't even. I lost my train of thought, but they 10x Ethereum's profits. So there's like 8.4 million in revenue by February 9th of this year, where Ethereum's revenue stood at about 875,000. So, I mean, all of this is adoption. All of this is bringing notoriety to the chain. And then now that we have other places like Franklin Templeton and more mainstream looking at it, more mainstream projects and companies looking at it, I think it just brings visibility to the chain and whatnot.
I mean, think about it. The mascot for Ethereum is Vitalik. I mean, he's definitely not the cool kid in the class. Solana's the cool kid. Solana's got the buttholes and the farts and and Trumps. And I mean, they just got all the cool stuff that's on Solana.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me that ETH's the big granddaddy and it's been around the longest, besides Bitcoin, of course, but you get institutions that are really giving Solana the look and giving them, hey, we're coming here. And it's just amazing because us crypto people, we've been around and we kind of know the history with Solana and the congestion and the outages and things, and it just keeps on grinding out, man. It just keeps grinding out. I was telling that, so I bought Solana at $12.05, right? And I sold it at 58. Let everybody know that. Man, I wish I would have held on to that doggone thing. I thought I was doing well from $12.05 to 58, and it's just one that just keeps grinding out. So where do you guys think this top's going to be this cycle for Solana? Anybody have prediction on that?
I've heard 3,000. I don't think that it stops at 1,000. I think it goes above that. I don't know
This
where it goes
cycle?
to. Whenever. I don't know. I don't even know if we know what cycle we're in yet right now because it's so crazy. I mean, if you listen to Benjamin Cohen, he's not even sure where we're at. He just said it's not time yet. So it's not even alt season. So I would say if we get a real alt season, then I think Solana's going to be a mover in that alt season. So if we get one, I think that it goes over $1,000.
Wow. What do you think, Jimmy?
I mean, I'm I think this is still the makings of a very long cycle, whether we want to call it a super cycle or whatnot. I mean, I said it a long time ago. I mean, I think before there's a real true alt season, really before there's any big surge in, well, maybe not so much ETH, because we're getting big public purchases of ETH. Maybe say outside of the top 20. I think everything outside that top 20, kind of isn't on the table for necessarily big institutional investment. And those are going to be the ones that people like myself are waiting to pop off. And I think from this point, if we 6x from here on alts, I'm saying not Bitcoin, but alts, I think we'll be lucky. I think realistically 3 to 4, but I think there needs to be some tax cuts, some relief, some things along those lines that make a real difference in someone's pocket before we're going to really ever see another big alt season. I mean, people are broke right now. Price of everything's still going up. Hopefully we'll get some, change, in the very near future. It's going to take probably 6 months for that to kick in. So, I mean, that's kind of lining up with a late year rally. One thing I am encouraged, looking back on my chart where we've been in this channel since, November of 24, November 20th of 24, it looks like we're kind of finding a new support level. Cause I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 11 days in a much, much tighter zone. Just this morning, I actually, within the channel, I guess it would probably be easier if I just shared that, huh? And so you can see what I'm seeing. Do that, share screen, and then this, share. So, here's our top and bottom of the channel, and that bad boy has been going back to the right there, and that is November 20th. But this morning I drew this green line. That's the first time I've drawn a green line, and just, to follow along, it's pretty obvious. This one should be red, but if it's a downtrend line, I make it red. If it's an uptrend line, I make it green. And then if it's a channel, I make it yellow. So just this morning, I drew this guy. So it's kind of like we're finding this new support level within this channel. Now do we start doing this, following this up, because this is getting tight, and that could mean a break either way. But yeah, I think it's going to be a boring spring. We'll probably get some surges and whatnot, but I'm really starting to believe it's is probably going to be at the end of the year. Once some changes happen in the government, people have more money in their pockets. I mean, I think that's got to happen before anything real significant. I mean, to me, a pump is not. I mean, a pump to me, we're talking 20%. I mean, we really haven't seen a whole bunch of 20-30% pumps as run. So I just don't think it's going to come till later in the year.
Is this your long way of answering what you think your Solana price prediction is going to be?
Yes, it is. It's hard to say on that one, man. I mean, on Solana, I mean, I don't think it goes over 1,000. If I'm listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah. How about you, Tony? You got a price prediction for Solana?
Sure, but I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'm throwing numbers that might stick and might not. Just like XRP is 589. So I'm going to say 589. Let's go 589. I really don't know, but like I said, I'm jumping back into the charts. It's been a while since I've really jumped in the charts over the last 6 to 9 months. So when we were working on the book and getting that stuff out, I put a lot of time into that. So I'm excited to have this new year and this fresh new adoption of crypto and just the overall government structure that's more pro crypto. So I'm just looking at a way to make sure that I position myself well and get ready for whatever happens. And of course, we have several friends that we follow and different channels that we have that we are able to tune into that give us a lot more of that info that we can kind of hone our skills, but then we have to dig into the charts ourselves. So that's what I'm doing.
Amen. I have my own thoughts on it, but let me say hi to the chat. Let's say hi to Jay Violet. Welcome. And we have the Wickster. Wick, good to see you, brother. Always good to see Wick. Pennywise, good to see you. Appreciate you. We see you, DDT floating around there. We see you hanging out. Of course, Wifey's in here. Appreciate you, Wifey. V-Son, appreciate you stopping in on your Sunday to hang out with the Billy Goat Tales people. Just see anybody else. I feel like Frankie. Let's see. Oh, Rusty. That's who I was looking for. Rusty Bot. We can't wait, Rusty. You're going to have the first emoji, that WD-40 can for Rusty Bot. We got to keep him lubed up so he can share his love with us. And K-Dig, I saw this comment. Has anyone done the math on the money diluted into the current alts versus the same amount into last cycle, smaller number of alts to see where we actually are? Well, Ben Cowan has kind of done some of that stuff, but we know, 2 cycles ago, there was 3,000 alts. Last cycle, there's 24,000 alts. This cycle, we know there's 36 million alts. So you're taking a whole bunch of money and you're dispersing it among a whole bunch of empty cans, right? So how does that impact us? Well, we have all these first, right? So you can't do that in a vacuum, right? So in other words, there's all these other factors that are also in play, like the ETFs, the institutional buying. We had the halving or the high hit before the halving. We have all this other stuff that's churning too. There's a lot of new money coming in this time versus last time. So how much more new money needs to come in to fill up all those cans? We also know that 99% of those cans, 36 million tokens, are junk, right? We know that. So it's a hard one to, I think, put to chart out. And if you watch Ben Cowan, which I think all of us do, one of the best charters and deep thinkers into tokenomics and charts that's out there, I think it's bottom line is Bitcoin dominance is probably going to go up a little bit more before it comes down. And when it comes down, we're going to see the alts hopefully take off. I personally am a believer that this cycle is not broken. That's just my own degen absolutely worthless opinion. But I bank my investment thesis based on that, right? So my investment thesis, how I add coins or buy or do anything for my long-term bags are based on that investment thesis. I could be dead wrong, been wrong before, but so far so good. We just have to see how it plays out. And then, I'm thinking Solana, You know, like if I had to throw a dart, and again, DJing guess, don't have a magic ball, but I'm thinking lower. I'm thinking, you know, somewhere between 350 and 450 is where I'm thinking. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, if we had an extended cycle, Jimmy, like, I mean, because there are people calling for even into January now, right? So the old adage, sell in May and walk away, is that going to work this year? You know, we don't know, right? But there are people saying the extended cycle, because of all these firsts and all these new first time things happening. I don't know. I could tell you this: in May, I'm going to be paying very close attention to what's going on. We'll see, but I think we're all in the same boat. I think we're all wondering what to do and keeping our eye on the market and not tripping again. There are some tokens that I wouldn't care if I round trip. Tell you the truth, they're just so good of projects that if I have to hold it for another 3 years, it wouldn't really bother me, right? Because they're good projects. They're going to come back eventually. So, but I would like to see Bitcoin get up there. I would like to see Bitcoin hit the 180 mark. That would be a great sign for all of us. I am heavy Bitcoin, so that's a good sign. And I'd like to see some of these Dino coins come back. I mean, DOT, Polygon Matic, Atom. I mean, I hold these, and they have not done anything, man. They've been just a beater on us, right? So, but those are all good projects, right? So Atom, Polygon Matic. I mean, come on. I mean, I think these are good projects. So I'm not really too concerned if I have to round trip them, but it would be nice for the portfolio if they would set new all-time highs. That's for sure. Bubba's, good to see you, man. Good to see you, Bubba's OG. Bubba's OG. Let's see. Bubba says grabbed Solana at $15. Nice job, Bubba. Had to take profits over 200 right in a little moon bag, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, brother, that's great to hear. Love to see the gains, man. Love to see the gains. Let's go. Love it. What's got Retro Mike down here? He's got all the miners are calling it quits for now. Wow, they have all lost faith in proof of work. That's the sign that an up market is about to begin. Wow, good insight there, Retro Mike. Meanwhile, Dave Digital is creating all kinds of new night bots. So walk us through the night bots, Dave. What'd you create? Like, walk the chat through it so everybody can know.
Let me see. So I'm not even sure. So I know we have the fart command. So if you type exclamation point fart, then Nightbot will fart. So that's fun. So I'll put a list in the chat
following
here.
along.
So if you look there, so if you click that link will take you to a list of the commands available for the chat at this point. And if you want to add your own, I don't get mad. If we don't like it, we'll just delete it. So have fun.
Well, yeah, as long as they're Billy Goat Tails types of commands, right? We don't want to get crazy with some vulgar stuff for sure, man.
Looks like we're getting requests. You see what Allset just posted?
Oh, I didn't. All set. Open the club. All set. Good to see you, brother. Open the club, Dave. Jimmy, are we allowed to open the club? Is Rocco still in here? Are we gonna get in trouble from Sin City if we open the club?
Hey, they gave us a date.
I mean, let's ask the chat. I mean,
On
chat,
air.
Put it in the chat. If you want us to open the club, exclamation point, open club.
Let's see.
Rob said March 1st.
What did he say about March 1st?
He said by March 1st, he'll have the club back working. I asked him on, I don't know, was that Thursday or Friday? I asked him if they collected the insurance money from a couple of weeks ago when they sat there and made us watch it burn down. And Rob said March 1st, and I said, hey, I'm going to be a nice guy. March 1st is a Saturday. I'll give you to the 3rd.
Now, is that a
What?
quick turnaround or is that a slow turnaround?
That's freaking slow.
I mean, I know Tony's got some construction guys that build a club in about 90 minutes or 90 seconds. That's what I
Of
know.
Adobe.
Yeah, Tony's guys build clubs fast.
Well, we-
Which
we're
likes
I'm
to get
working on a DJ Billet voice, AI voice to bring up at one point.
we gotcha. So, hey, Wayne C, good to see you. Kusakan. That's the way I say it. You know, Kusakan. Kusakan, good to see you, man. Keith, Crypto Coin Mindset. Yep, got you in here. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you. And of course, we just had DDT enter. What's going on, DDT?
Evening.
Good evening.
Not a whole lot. Watching Bitcoin go sideways, pretty much most of the weekend. It's uneventful. I think it's probably because of this holiday tomorrow, but not really too much happening. A few alts taking a little bit of a hit to the downside, but
Did you watch
Sure.
the U.S. put that butt whooping on Alex's Canadians last night?
I do not watch. Well, I don't have access to be able to watch hockey, ice hockey, or whatever you're talking about.
Yeah, it was hockey. I didn't watch it
Yeah.
either, but I did get to see some of the posts, and I know Alex is not happy. I don't know if he's in the chat yet, but I know he is not happy with the butt whooping they got.
Yeah, so just been taking it easy. It's actually been a decent weekend for me because within a few weekends, like literally from November, you've had price action happen on a Saturday or Sunday. It's like put family aside, and then jump on charts, fire up the laptop and get the desk setup going. But at least I think the last 2 weekends has been good. Been actually able to have family time and quality time, which is good. So it's good that the charts and the price action is giving us a bit of time to actually get time off at this point, with it being a bit boring or sideways.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some Bitcoin analysis, DDT.
Kidoki. Let me just share.
See what's going on with that sideways action and that. Hopefully, she's consolidating so she can blast off, right? That's what we all
What are
want.
we at? Oh, did it change my...
Oh, I'll pull it up. Yep. Boom.
So, not a whole lot. Macro range. We are still on the POC. And for those that want to kind of put this into their charts, it's extended now. So we do, or what Frankie has been doing, obviously I'll follow Frankie pretty much because I teach in his Discord, but for the most part, this has been extended now, and this is kind of the volume profile that we are looking at. Messing around just on the POC. For me as well, at this point, yeah, so it's sideways on the POC. It needs to pick a direction, and it's just not picking a direction. It's up scam, down scam, just, yeah, not ideal. Quick looking at money flow. Sorry, I always have to do this because my Zoom and all of that's a bit rubbish. But the one thing, so obviously we have daily money flow still in the red and coming out, but it was curving up. We had this move on Friday. It started pushing up on Friday into like 98 or whatever it was, or like this week, like from last week to like this week, it started, or kind of the last few days, it started pushing up, but money flow on daily is running over again. And obviously the VWAP is coming down on market side B quite aggressively. So for the most part, I was just looking at the daily, and we had the 2-day as well, which was it printed a green dot there, and then literally I think it's just about to print a red dot. It's going to fake out or flop. It's just very choppy. There's no real way to call it at the moment. it's better. I think Alexo is a good proponent of saying you don't trade the sausage, you trade the buns of the hot dog. So that's the type of thing as well. Kind of. If you relate that to the volume profiles, the POC is a no trading zone really, unless you get something like a massive change of structure. But when it's just going sideways and not doing anything, it's just not worth it. At the moment, the 4 hours, what I was looking for at this point as well, because it had gone red, flipped red when we'd kind of hit the POC again on Friday. So obviously from here we've had money flow coming out red on the 4 hour, but it's trying to curve back up. I think it's going to flip back green, and obviously now this wave on the 4 hour is starting to anchor or starting to curve. The VWAP starting to come up. 1 hour just also doesn't know what it's doing. There's a little bit of demand here, so you can see here there's obviously buy up wicks, so there's a bit of wicks there. And then also as well, we bounced on a POC that we had from Friday, naked point of control. Also, if I can just pull that in. So see, yeah, this was a naked point of control at 96,787. So basically that's been holding the support. And what I do look at as well is the weekend range. So we're obviously on the weekend range now at the moment. Still, we've not really had the futures move. So futures is open now within the last 50 minutes and literally not swiped down. So I was hoping, or my thought was, before continuing down, is that we would come up to the CME gap, close, and then go down. So, but for the most part, it's just sideways. It's not really tradable for me. Although, one thing we did or a few of us caught on Friday was there was a... Where's my Fibonacci's now? Going crazy. That one. So this is obviously subjective, but I knew that based on, there was a local profile, sorry. I just need to put it on. I think it was this one. Quick local profile. There was a local profile on Friday that rejected, we were getting close to so I haven't extended this profile, but this profile runs from 3rd of February, basically. And I stopped it there where it last hit the value area low. We were getting up and close to this value area high on this push, and we'd got above this POC of this range. So I was like, going into Friday, generally, there's normally a stop hunt. You literally had one here where they hunted just on New York Open. So you'd expect one to the top side on a Friday as well, just kind of by one of the methods that I used to trade. So I caught a short about 98.4, I think. I got in, I'll show you where. So just for a bit of gloat. And yeah, that was Bitcoin. It's not really too much. Levels to the downside. So on my indicator, we hit the level. Oh, sorry, it was on the 5 minute. Degen. So going into this, where I
At least it wasn't the 1 second.
So we hit the we hit the value order. We hit the 618. Local golden pocket came down and then started putting in with this and CVD, the EXTs work off my CVD indicator. So this is bearish absorption. So obviously buyers are trying to push the price up, but obviously you got sellers pushing the price down and holding the price down. So that was my key to short, or to try a short. And also as well, like these type of moves always have a very tight invalidation. So if you're looking for a CVD type entry, what was that one? What was that one? No, I'm too far zoomed out. So even on this one, if you'd entered here, you would always, it'd be like SFP, swing failure pattern. You just put your stop above the high, and you manage your risk that way. So yeah, decent risk to reward. I've taken some profit back when it came down to this POC again, and then yeah, just holding it. Well hedged in a lot of positions, or a few positions at the moment. But yeah, BTC is just going sideways. Not really a hell of a lot going on at this point. Sideways action. I don't know what the volume is going to be like tomorrow with this holiday, but it's just it's just going sideways in between this weekend range and kind of this POC, and it's found support on this. I think there might have been a daily level here as well now. Just having looked, yeah, there was a tap. There was a daily level there as well at 96.6, or on this. There was a daily level there as well. So basically, the POC daily is holding the support at the moment. But apart from that, not much else to look at on BTC, and it's going sideways.
Yep.
So,
what about the friend of our channel, Cardano, the trade that Dave's in right now, the trade that I'm in right now?
So quick POC. How is that POC gone?
So with Washington's birthday, are we going to see a cherry picking meme coin tomorrow or something like that?
Yeah, Cardano.
Dropping down a cherry tree.
Maybe.
A lot of these alts we're getting, I think, it's the same like Bitcoin. They've got, these look more as if they want to go lower. I generally,
Dave. There you go, Dave.
I think it's going to go sideways and then
We'll
print red
see.
dot.
It's right at
Sideways.
the entry, so we'll see.
If it's going to go anywhere up at this point, let me just delete that because I can re-add it. So now I've been looking at Cardano for trades as well, because obviously I have spot bag, but there's a volume profile up here. Let me just try and get down the time frame to actually get better. Yeah, so on the daily on Cardano at the moment, there was this top range here. It's fallen out. It's expected if it's going to put a higher low by the laws of the volume profile, it will come back in to probably the value area low at this point, because the POC in this profile is actually at the top. So if it was going to put in a lower high, it's probably not going to put it in at the POC, where the POC is being in the top of the range there, close to the value area high. So I did have a Fibonacci pull, but I just don't know where I was. You wouldn't like it. Yeah, so at this point you could actually, but I'm thinking if it's going to reject, it could get to there, but I'm not holding out much hope just yet until the higher time frame money flow starts flipping out. But also if the trend is going to change in the money flow, then the first thing I would look for is the 4 hour. But if I'm looking for a lower high now on Cardano, I'm looking for the lower high at 92 cents again, this value area low of this range. So that with a DMPOC, I probably could get a localized fib. No. You can barely get a localized fib anywhere near the value area low. So for the most part, it's just got those levels. Dailies don't have. That was tapped. It's a tap daily. No, there isn't. So you have. I've at least got 3 confluences here to kind of give it. If I was going to short somewhere, I was short here. So you have the daily confluence, DMPOC, and the value area low around. So anything from 90, say 97 cents, which is a bit too much. I would say 90 to 92 cents. Is probably the key level, and then also as well vector recovery. So if you recover that full vector, that will also be good. One thing,
yeah, and you can see I entered kind of a long time ago, and what I saw was a 16-hour red dot with a money flow crossing on the 1 hour into the red. So it just didn't bring us down that far yet.
Let me just pull that up. So at this point now as well, you have a lower profile here on the 4 hour. So let me just. So I've not extended this profile, but on the 4 hour, I've got just a volume profile pulled as well. So if it was going to come back down, it's kind of making a profile there as well. I'm just very iffy to even look at alts at this point. Of course, obviously, if you think you're shorting Bitcoin, rather short an altcoin, because obviously your gains will be kind of a lot more. But it's just, so there's a local profile up here. It's fighting with the money flows just crossed as it's come out of this profile. So if anywhere, it might go to about 80 cents. But downside target, you probably want to, with the 4 hour, you are going to probably recover that liquidity, although that blue vector to 71, 72 cents. So, but it's just very iffy. It's obviously all depending on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's not really doing anything. The Bitcoin dominance isn't actually doing that much this weekend as well, which generally on the weekend you get Bitcoin dominance to start rolling over a bit, but it's also just going sideways. It's like nothing can pick a direction at this point. So generally, for me, there's no trades to be had until obviously we get to a higher or lower level, or I see something drastic like a market structure change where you start changing structure. Obviously now with this on the daily as well, hard drawings. So on the 4 hour, I would say my market structure is there. So it has to get above 80, and you can see where it's rejecting. So that's where this red line here, just to keep it simple, not even looking at market stuff, just looking at how the market structure is. So now, once it broke that line, well, obviously you had on the 4 hour at least as well. You had low, lower low, and then obviously you broke down, made a lower low, and then you've started to trend up again, but you're going sideways. So you need to break back above this 83 cents level. This 83 cent low on the 4 hour would kind of then start making me feel a little bit more bullish on it. Obviously, it's in an uptrend because it's been obviously from the bear market, and obviously Hoskins, or the creator owner, he's obviously in with the crypto council and all these things that's going on at the White House. So one of the advisors, presumably. So yes, it could go higher, but also as well, it's just everything is chopped up at the moment. It's not really too much to look into the downside. So obviously, yeah, it can get any, obviously it has to break 83 cents. If it does get any upside, it's probably 90 to 92 with probably a higher upside target of about 96. And then also as well, if you are looking at, yeah, can't get anything really to get anywhere close to the value low, can I? Yeah. So obviously it's DMPOC 61. That's probably 70 cents. 70 cents is basically your low target, and also as well volume profile, because you've got your value area high and your value area high and your POC at the top of the range. You basically will have a P format, which means obviously there's a lot of and obviously you can see it. Sorry, I do have the volume on there. You can see there's kind of like a volume gap there to a certain extent, that where it can come down and fill the liquidity down to like 72 cents. It's just very iffy. It's like heads or tails. I can't say at this point with 100% certainty what's going to happen here, because Bitcoin is not giving me 100% certainty what it's doing.
I'm
for the most
heads.
part,
Yep, and part of what I was looking at too, so I pulled the 3 fibs if I was on the 4 hour. You can kind of see behind me, I pulled the 3 fibs basically where I would see them at. And any of those, any of those golden pockets would be a good retracement and still be bullish, still be fine for, here, let me make that bigger. So
because you've now...
I pulled that one, and then this one, and then this one, right? And this is a golden pocket, that's a golden pocket. And right now we just bounced to 786, but it's more than likely that we're going to come down all the way, like you were saying, 72, and still be bullish. Sorry, my dogs are playing. Sorry about that.
You've kind of had a shift here, but obviously they're more equal highs than anything, right? Look, it's more equal highs than actual proper structure shift for it to flip back. Oh, sorry, I don't have my chart share, but I can see it on my screen. But for the most part, it looks as if it can come down to, it could come down to 72 cents. It could come down to like this zone here and then bounce, and it will still be a high low, right? So
yep, 100%.
Either which way you're looking at it, a little bit of a drop doesn't really affect it all that much in the grand scheme of things. So if you're trading it, obviously you'd want to be on the right side of the trade or managing risk if you're on the wrong side of a trade, right? But for the most part, you generally, it could come down to 72 cents and still be relatively bullish. So that's good on it. But also as well, everything is just chopped up. Like, sorry, I'm being highly apologetic about it, but there's no real kind of meat to anything at this point, because Bitcoin is chopping up, everything else is chopping up, and it's just pick a side, do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And this is the frustrating thing. You'd want rather volume and you'd want it moving and trending, than rather kind of to have to guess and make subjective guesses, which is what I'm getting at this point. It's just it's
Did
not
we get
easy.
your-
Not easy the last few days to kind of pick a direction and be correct on it.
Sometimes the best trade's a no trade. Right?
Yeah,
Did we get your opinion on a Solana top this cycle?
I said in the chat, I said 600.
600. Okay.
I think that puts it literally in line with ETH or just above ETH. I have seen certain commentaries about 600 being around ETH's market capitalization. So give or take. It depends what ETH does, what ETH's doing at that time when it gets to $600. But around there, I think, I can't remember. Frankie did something a while ago. I can't remember the website. This is the Coin Perspective or something like that. You can go look in market capitalizations, or if your coin is this price, its market cap will be this, and it will be this high. Yeah. So
Yeah, coin
for the most part,
perspective, yeah.
for the most part, I think safe guess would be between 500 and 600. And also as well, the memes aren't going to stop. Unfortunately, that's just the market we're in.
I think that if you play Trump right, if somebody plays Trump right with whatever little bits you could play with, or a lot of bits if you're a big guy, but if you just play that right, I think you can double it and get out and double it and get out and double it and get out and double it and get out throughout the next 4 years.
Yeah. So talking about like memes and getting back to that whole thing, I've got one of my good friends literally just trades the meme coins that have volume. So he trades Fartcoin, he trades Vine, he trades Trump, he trades grass, he trades peanuts. Like all these meme coins have volume and they move. It's not like Bitcoin that just sits still. They'll do 20% in like a few hours. Like he trades based on volatility or kind of movement. That as a trader is what you want. Like you can see a clear direction, you go with it, you long, and you manage your risk. But kind of with Bitcoin or kind of a coin that doesn't move, you can't do that. It's like you're just sitting there like a sitting duck, not too sure if you're going to get stopped out or if the trade's going to go in your favor. Obviously, when you're doing your TA and you're looking for kind of your probabilities, the probability is if you're doing your TA and you kind of have your bias and your basis based on your TA, you'll probably be on the right side of the trade. But having a coin that's trending and Fartcoin doing 20% up, 20% down, it can be a trader's dream.
Yeah.
Or something similar. It can be any coin, right? It doesn't just have to be a meme coin. You just want like a trader's.
Volatility.
You want volatility and movement.
Yeah.
Because also as well, what they
It's some
don't
kind of
swing,
pattern.
yeah, they don't swing trade as well. They trade intraday. Like hypothetically, I think it was Friday. I think you caught like 20% on Farcoin on like a 3x. That's good money, right? And also as well, obviously with the memes and the coins that move more, you don't have to use a like 10, 20, 50x leverage. You can go higher margin, lower leverage and kind of manage your risk that way and actually still make a considerable amount, right?
Yeah.
But then also as well, you can get the ones in the trenches that just use Sol and use like Pump Fun or Dex Tools or whatever these things, or Radium. And
I saw a post on X that said that there's a wallet that traded both Trump early and that, what is it, Melee, or what was the other one that guy just came out with?
Libra was the
Libra,
Oh,
yeah.
Libra.
And they both got into that. And now they have like, I don't remember what it said, 26 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's snap wallets. I think it's bots. I can't remember. Was it Ran on Firedancer a while ago? He showed how you set up like a sniper bot basically on, I don't know if it was Pump Fun or it was one of these other dexes on Solana. You can do it. So there's like, I don't know. Maybe it's something we could look at, but obviously it's not something I would openly promote because I think there can be some criminality in that, kind of teaching people how to snipe and like rug other people. It's not something good to do.
We'll leave that for the degens, you know.
Yeah. And speaking of banter, we are working on we're just trying to get the date hammered out for whenever we're gonna have David Sinzit and Dylan from Chart Hackers on from Crypto Banter Plus. So that'll be coming on soon.
Cool. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, I like Dylan and David.
Yeah, yeah. As far as the banter goes, they're the cream of the crop for sure, and they're really in real life. I know David, so he's good people too.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. But back to charts, not really too much happening. Bitcoin dominance is even going sideways. So
Yeah.
What do you think about the dominance? I mean, Cowan's talking about the ETH Bitcoin needs to go a lot lower or not a lot lower, but it's got a significant amount lower to go before it can get a significant bounce. What do you think?
I've not looked at ETH BTC for a while, but everyone is calling for bottoms on the ETH BTC from what I'll kind of just by sentiment wise. It's like, can it really go any lower? Like the joke is the joke now. So,
I think that's what Simon's kind of talking about. He's like, yeah, the joke is the joke, but we've still got more to go. I think he was talking 2100.
Yeah, probably. If ETH capitulates even more, then sorry, I'm just looking at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance, it kind of had the scam went up to like 64 last week, 2 weeks ago, around the 3rd, and then obviously went sideways. So obviously in this section here, we had a bit of an alt pump, I presume, or obviously with Bitcoin dominance going sideways, obviously alts do catch up. So there was a bit of an alt pump, and then Bitcoin dominance dropped. But also as well as Bitcoin dominance was dropping, we might have had I think we had the 102 rejection on Bitcoin, which obviously didn't help. But for the most part now, I'm just looking at this on the 4 hour just so I can get kind of a range. But for the most part, I could see it coming back down to like 60. This is just a Fibonacci pulled from on the 4 hour candle Friday the 31st of January. And then obviously, I think it's up here on one of these candles. I didn't like the scam candle. Let's see where that one is. Yeah, I just pulled it to the top of this range. You could probably even... so for the most part, yeah, 60%. But then obviously as well, it could, it's in bearish structure now, specifically on the 4 hour. So obviously low, lower low, lower low, and obviously lower highs. We need it to break down, but the problem is with it breaking down, we also don't know if Bitcoin's going to go sideways or down with it. But obviously, if Bitcoin's going sideways and this is breaking down to 60%, obviously we'll get an alt catch up and alts will run again. But also as well, getting back to that whole ETH thing around could go down to 2K. But I think for me, there is a hint of bullishness in regards to ETH staking for the ETFs. I think they are still working on that. That's probably might be the thing that saves ETH, because if the issue with ETH as well is the staking has fallen off, specifically on like Lido or on the Beacon chain or whatever they like network. So obviously they have big purchases kind of going forward at the moment, but the issue can be that there's no long-term yield for someone who wants to keep ETH for like 5-10 years, right? So, and also as well, these big institutional customers like Fidelity or BlackRock, if they can stake the ETH and get some yield, they will do that, and they will do it at a hell of a rate. So that probably will be the savior kind of ETH, I think, if that happens. But also as well, what I was noticing as well, someone did say in Frankie's Discord earlier today or yesterday that like ETH network fees, like gas fees, was like 1 Gwei, like earlier on this morning or something, which is crazy considering that it can be 10, 20, 30, 100. So ETH network fees are dropping now as well. So I'm not too sure more into that, but
well, it should.
So,
they got all the competitors out there just eating them up with the lot lower fees. So about time, right? So
yeah.
Well, DDT, we're going to get into our next segment. Feel free to hang out, man. We appreciate you always for coming up. You're part of the team. Just hang out if you want, whatever you want to do. Tony, I know you had some stuff going on. I see you got something a little queued up down there, so I figured I'd kick it over to you and see what you got going on. I see something queued up there.
All right, here we go. Well, you all know what's going on here. Billy Goat Tales NFT is still out there. We've got some news that I think, Billy, did you already share that news? You shared a little bit of what may be coming here soon. But For those of you that are new to this place, or new to seeing us, of course, we've got our official NFT mint. We recorded 30 X Spaces, 30 weeks of X Spaces from 2023 to 2024, turned that into an NFT book, used a lot of AI automation, and then manually reviewed and curated the Billy Goat Tales leadership professional development book, as well as crypto adoption book, and it's minted on Cardano. So if you want to go to the official mint site right here on billygoattales.io, if you actually are on the home screen, you would let me see. I'm zoomed in a little bit too much.
Buttons up to the left there.
There we go. The button's up here on the right. NFT mint info. If it'll click, you click right there. It'll take you right to the mint site, and you can mint. We did cut this book into 10 different sections. So there's 3 chapters in each. There's a preface and there's an appendix that has some more resources. There, in the appendix, there's the links to all of the X Spaces that were held. So if somebody wanted to listen in, they can. Charles Hoskinson was on there in week 8. So chapter 8, so it would be that discussion we had with him would be in that taking action. It was about a 4-hour audio. We had to cut out some of it because it wasn't on topic, but great communication, great space that we had there. And then we've started to reboot the first 10 chapters of our NFT book, not really to reboot the content, but really do like a 1 year later reboot of where things are. The cornerstones that we have are the strength of community, the power of persistence. We just talked about taking action this last Tuesday. We have a guest this coming Tuesday, but over the next few weeks and months, we're rebooting and just kind of re-talking about the different professional development, personal development habits, and cornerstones that we believe in here at Billy Goat Tales. So the Art of Habits was the last one. Taking Action was the last one. So the next time we do a reboot, it'll probably be on the Art of Habits. So whether you want to bring how habits have impacted your life in the last year, maybe do a reboot of that, or just maybe some other stories, we can continue to talk on that as we go forward. And then, of course, we have our book reader. There's the link is there that you can see there, but I've already got it pulled up. So I'm going to share this tab. We talked about fearless action this last time, or taking action this last week, like I said, and some of those takeaways is taking that first step. Jimmy Jim likes to say you've got to get up in the morning to jump off the porch. Now maybe he's jumping off the porch into a pool. That'd be nice. I'd love to do that, especially in the summer here in Texas. It gets pretty hot. I'm not sure exactly what all of that means, but I think what I take it as is you got to get out of your bed and start taking the first steps to get anything going. So this is just a glimpse of the main points from that chapter. Of course, there's a lot more in there. There's over 170 speakers. Many of you were in there. So once again, you can find that on our website and then click on the NFT section and go there. So other than that, Billy, I can kick it back to you.
No, I thought you were working on some music or something down there. I wasn't sure what you said earlier. I'm putting something together. I thought, oh, what is that down there, man? I thought it was going to do some animation, but I see Rocco.
Wait, music? You want us to put on music?
Oh, Rocco's in here, and I guess it's time to open the club, Dave. I think it's time.
The music's ready.
What do you think of that, Jimmy Jim?
That was loud as hell.
Was it? Was it loud?
Well, what do you expect of a club? Those have Bose speakers, bro.
Help me digest my food. That's for sure.
Now I know Jimmy's not complaining that the club just opened. I know I'm not hearing
Absolutely
that
not. Absolutely not.
Jimmy secretly is the reason the club closed down over at Sim City. We just don't know it.
Highly doubt that. I got $300 credit, so first day that thing's working.
right. Tradefly says, "Did I hear music? You know I'm down for that, man. Let's go. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake." Tradefly, good to see you, brother. Can't wait to be on. I just told the stream earlier we'll be on there tomorrow with Tradefly and then your channel over there, your and Piper's channel over there. So we can't wait. That's gonna be a fun event. Kusakan, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Music streaming, love. Yeah, we're trying to have fun over here. There's Rocco. Rocco heard it. Rocco heard it. Rocco, Jimmy's gonna hijack the club, man. The next thing you know, it's gonna be a BGT thing.
I'm serious. Rocco, the day you find out that thing's working, and I'll give you $100. We need to do a remote session, like we always do. And then let me just fire that bitch off.
We got Dave Digital. He's like a kid in a candy store with this stuff.
Rocco says, okay, deal.
He said, okay, deal?
Yep,
There
I've
you
got
go.
his number. I'll zill you $100 right now.
It's how deals get done, right here on the Billy Goat Tales.
That's right.
What's Rusty got here? Look at this. There he goes. Rusty's always got some good emojis. That's why we got to keep him lubed up with the WD-40 can.
Whoa.
Yeah,
easy.
keeping them lubed up. There you
With
go.
the
Jim.
lube.
There you go. That's what we're doing.
No, Rusty Bot needs to be lubed up. Get your minds out of the gutter. Come on. That's
Billy, I heard about what you thought edging was, so we're not going to bring it up.
He needs maintenance. Let's use that.
yeah. There you go. Okay, what do we got? Trade fly in and out crypto, bro. What's going on? Yeah, man. Yeah, good to see everybody in here. Pole Man's in the house. Good to see you, Pole Man. Appreciate you guys stopping in on the second hour of Billy Goat Tales.
Jimmy,
We
where
just
are we
had
going
a-
to corner trade fly at? We're going to take him to where?
That's right. And you were telling me he was in town. Where?
Yeah, man, we need to
what
corner
part
him
of town
somewhere.
you in?
Yeah, put it in the chat. Trade fly, where you at, bro?
You
Where
down
at,
there
bro?
with Jimmy and Dave? Trade
Yeah,
fly.
Yeah, he's in.
Put in the
He's
chat.
within 20
Bill
minutes of me,
DoorDash
I
you.
think.
Houston.
That's within an hour. Of
Well,
Jimmy.
I mean, can we narrow it down by about 500 square miles? Just south. Pearland?
He said in the Webster. I said Webster, and he got all excited.
Oh,
the other day.
Webster? Sheesh, dude, you're like probably. Wait a minute. That's not south. Pasadena? That's east.
Pasadena.
That's where
Webster,
Gillies
close.
used to be, man. Go see the land Gillies used to be on. It ain't there anymore, but
We call that Stinkadena. Trade fly. I'm sure you know why by now.
Pasadena, huh? Sorry to hear that.
Hey, duty calls. Trade fly goes with duty calls, man. He can't pick them. He's just got to go execute the mission, right? Trade fly. Did you see Retro Mike's?
How long you here, man? How long you in town?
I think he said till late March.
Well, till late March.
Yeah, but so we need to start early and just wear him out the whole time.
Somebody get Dave a map.
Yep, end of March. Well, crap. Yeah, we already get together, have dinner one night.
Yeah, man. What are you cooking?
And take you down to the Houston club.
Oh, you're all fancy. Do I even have pants that
Downtown.
fancy?
We can. Oh yeah, you do need some. Well, you don't have to have fancy pants. You got some khakis. Throw some khakis on.
He
You don't
says
need a
he's-
coat.
He says he's in 100%. Just let him know, Jimmy Jim.
All right, we'll figure it out, dude. I don't know how to get in touch with you, but
With your permission,
I guess
TradeFly,
on X, I can-
I'll send him
Yeah,
your
he's on X.
I'll
Everybody's
send him
on
your
X.
number, TradeFly. If you give me the permission, I'll send Jimmy your number, and you guys can just call each other and talk about it. That's probably the easiest way, or text. Just let
Yeah.
me know.
Yeah, all these young
Yeah,
bucks,
you can
they
send
just
him-
send you messages on X. They think that's your phone
You can-
now.
you can
All
send
right.
him my stuff, whatever.
Okay, I'll make that happen so you guys can talk back and forth there. That's cool. Gotcha. Did you see Retro Mike's text comment earlier? He's like, regarding the club, he's like, I think Sin City Crypto paid for their club with cash, and that's why it closed. he's our. Yeah, man. Hey, DDT, you get that cast chart ready. Let's when you get a minute, get that cast chart ready. We'll show RMT what's going
Billy,
on.
did
with
you see the
cash.
new command, right? You saw the RMT command.
What was it?
Here, I'll put it in the chat now. Exclamation point RMT.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I can't keep up with you guys.
Did I see it right? Yeah, it
Mikey
says Mikey loves
cash
cast.
more than any other. Oh man, I gotta even try that one. I gotta try that one. This is good. That's awesome, man.
Man, and if you want to see a list of the commands, you just push exclamation point commands, and then it'll give you a link to give you a list of all the commands.
Gotcha. Dave Digital, resident digital production manager for Billy Goat Tales, head of digital production. It's all fun. Yeah, we're gonna pull up the cast chart for you guys. We got some other topics too to talk about. We're just having fun tonight, hanging since it's President's Day tomorrow, and the markets are just trading sideways. Not a lot of news. We did talk about Solana and the Franklin Templeton, which is huge news. Really, institutional investing coming to Solana. That's huge news. There's also, let me reset this real quick.
TradeFly asked if we got our press passes for BTC, and the truth is that our head of press pass production is still working on that for us.
Yeah, we got
Feel
them.
free to-
We
Feel
got them.
free to send out a message following my message, TradeFly.
TradeFly put it very simply.
Let me share this with you guys here real quick, if I can find it. Let's see here.
What does the chat think? Is my trade going to make it down to the 72-ish area? 1 in the chat if I should leave it open. 2 in the chat if I should close it.
Did you guys see this? This is on Cointelegraph. Bitcoin price metrics flips red as analysis warns of bearish phase next. The Bitcoin inter-exchange flow pulse metric is flashing what traditional signals start off the BTC price to the downside. So this is interesting. This just came out. Bitcoin exchange flow trends flip bearish. Bitcoin flows between derivative and spot exchanges are the latest cause of alarm for those seeking bullish BTC price action. Using the so-called inter-exchange flow, the IFP metric. Wow. So when a significant amount of Bitcoin is transferred to a derivative exchange, the indicator signals a bullish period. This suggests that traders are moving coins to open long positions in the derivatives market, he explained in a quick take market update. However, when Bitcoin starts flowing out of derivative exchange and into spot exchanges, it indicates the beginning of a bearish period. This typically happens when long positions are closed and large investor whales reduce their exposure to risk. This is some Ben Cowan kind of stuff right here. So very
that almost
interesting.
looks like they stole that chart from Ben Cowan.
That could have. Today, the indicator has turned bearish, suggesting a decline in market risk appetite and potentially marking the start of a bearish phase. Now, they didn't say, the bear run or, so it reached its highest ever levels in March of 21. Well, we know that's getting close to the top. November was the top, around a month before BTC USD put in a new all-time high. And then, of course, that was the first all-time high, and then the second one in March or in November. So interesting stuff. That came out 5 hours ago, so that's relatively. And the other thing I think I saw that I wanted to share with everybody while we got him here, Trump advisor. Let's see, Trump admin advisor meeting with Federal Reserve Chairman, which was 3 hours ago. This came out 3 hours ago. If I can get this thing to actually work for me. Let's see. Investors are patiently waiting for interest rate cuts to fuel risk on asset markets amid high inflation and macroeconomic uncertainty. A director of the National Economic Council, a White House advisory board to President Trump, disclosed that he is now having regular meetings with the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell. Chair Powell. During a recent appearance on CBS Face the Nation, the host asked Hassett if his meetings with the Federal Reserve Chairman were to influence interest rates. The White House advisor responded, Jerome Powell is an independent person. The Federal Reserve's independence is respected. The point is that the president's opinion can also be heard. He is the president of the United States. So the advisor added that the long-term rates have already come down since the Trump administration took office and cited a 40 basis point reduction in 10-year T-bills, treasury rates, as evidence that the market believes inflation is coming down. Lower interest rates are a bullish catalyst for cryptocurrencies and other risk-on assets. That whole inflation thing is very interesting. It's great to see that Trump's people is meeting with the Fed, Jerome Powell, Fed chairman. So all that collaboration, all that discussion regarding crypto, man, I love it. I think it's bullish for crypto. What do you guys think about that flipping red on Bitcoin? Well, that's kind of 5 hours ago. That's kind of new information. What do you guys think of that?
Well, if anybody's been in Frankie's chat, it's not that new. So, or in his live streams, he's been telling us the last couple of streams that, look, we've got a weekly bearish. So he's not saying it's the end, but there's signals that it could be close.
Yeah, if you look at a higher time frame, obviously we've had the monthly bearish divergence, weekly bearish divergence, dailies. I think put in like 2 or 3 drives on Bitcoin. So, and obviously Bitcoin dominance with its, sorry, not Bitcoin dominance, like the DXY with the DXY strength. Sorry, that's also So signs were there, and not. I would think for the most part everyone faded the signs. Look, not to name drop, but if you were watching someone like Jason Casper, watching Frankie, watching the ones that are actually showing the technicals and saying the charts are technically showing bearish, then obviously that you'd probably be on the safe side of trades more than likely. But it signs were there. But you shouldn't. The thing for me as well, you shouldn't really see these signs so early in the cycle. Like expectedly, you should only see that probably more towards Q3, Q4, where supposedly the cycle top will be. So that was probably the ringer here, where I think it's unexpected. They were there, but they were people. We were still blind to them. I can even say I was still blind to them. Obviously, I'm still cautiously bullish because I'd expect price to still go up. But whether we get that now is like everyone's on the fence. You can't go for a new all-time high, but also as well, you've got like all those key levels below you on Bitcoin, like below 88K. You've got quite a lot of kind of liquidity
it's a
that
phase.
could easily get swept.
You know, it's a phase.
And truly, the high 70s aren't that bearish. I mean, it just goes down, takes a dip, relaxes a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of buyers down there.
Yeah,
It won't be there for long. I
No,
don't think.
there's big orders. I look at liquidity and I look at order books. If it gets to 78K, there's big boy orders there. It's like stupid big boy orders, not just like the normal ones we just see where they'll buy like 40, 50 million. It's a few 100 million blocks. Like way bigger than what we see when we sweep any liquidity in the current range. So
what are we looking at here? Happens to be CAS?
Yeah, so this is Casper.
That looks like a V-shaped recovery right there, real quick.
It's trying to on the daily do a V-shaped
recovery. It looks like
recovery.
a bearish retest of the POC or the
value area low. This is so. I had this from the last time. Maybe I didn't show it, but I'd have it as a macro range, and it's been respected somewhat. So obviously we've come. If you go down to the weekly, I'll just show you where we bounce from. So based on whatever price action is available on the Bybit chart, I've pulled from the kind of very lowest point to almost the highest point, all-time high on Casper. And basically it's held this macro golden pocket kind of on the first pullback after all-time high into like 8 cents, 7.5, 8 cents. And then again, same thing again. It's still holding that MAC. So this is obviously the line in the sand just. So because it's got two taps there, this is the line in sand. Casper has to hold kind of the 7 to 8 cent level. What it did as well, obviously it fell out the range. It's now back testing it. This is on the weekly. So it's back testing it. And it is showing a V shape. It's a bit too slow for a V shape for me as well. So obviously V shape, you'd want it to do it within 3 candles. Generally speaking, kind of if you follow those methods, kind of what Tino or someone like Annie from Trade Travel Chill. So obviously you want it to be a lot quicker, but it's there. It's showing a V shape, showing some sign of strength. Money flow is still red. It's coming up on the daily. So yeah, it's coming up quite aggressively on the daily as well. And it's got nice curvature on the daily. 4 hour, 4 hour money flow flipped green. Might have been a volume profile that it pulled out of. So there's a small volume profile here that it came back, which is good. This kind of lines up with the whole volume profile theory. So obviously it came up, and obviously we had money flow coming up. It back tested the value area high, and now it's gone back to find the higher value. So volume profile obviously lost its value here. Asset was supposedly overpriced, fell down. It's made new value here in the small volume profile, but now it's trying to find the big value again because obviously there'll be more volume.
That's impressive to me, man.
in the top level. So it needs to flip this, and it's just tapped the DMPOC. Or was this? Sorry, let me just double check. Was this one I just put on? This is today's POC. Sorry. Anyway, I just put that in, but there is a POC there at like 9.8 cents on Bybit charts, and obviously, like Dave was spotting and saw, we've rejected this local golden pocket. This local golden pocket's pulled from a lower high though, so obviously subjective as always, but I just it aligns. So that's basically,
if we can get up on top of that and retest it a couple times, that'd be great.
The money flow on the daily is
looking good.
It's not. You obviously got your VWAP coming down on market Cypher B on the daily, so that's kind of maybe a precursor to cooling off a bit. But also as well, it's had like almost 3 hits into that zone. Generally, the more times it wicks, the more chance it has to go up. And generally as well, if you're going to see a stronger rejection off a level, it'll be a double top drop. So because it's still attempting to get there. The
Yeah.
thought would be is if alts do get a run and obviously Bitcoin starts running up again with some dominance in the alts favor, it probably pop up above this, call it 10 cent, 11 cent, call it 11 cent level. And then, yeah, it could, so 4 hour, what's the one? Oh, so it was a daily. 4 hour, we had green money flow, daily. Yeah, daily hasn't anchored that nice. I mean, not daily, 1 hour. I like to see these waves come down deeper and then obviously form the anchor trigger wave and then go up. But it's just because of all the chop now, basically, on most of the price action of most coins that they're not really. It's like just even market cipher B is just traveling sideways and not really giving you the oomph that you want. You want a deep trigger wave to give it the legs to go higher. So at this point, it's just rejecting that level. Do we have there? We had a 15 bear div into that level as well. It's not showing. Yeah, we had a 15 bear div into that level, into that value area low, Fibonacci, local golden pocket as well. So for the most part, it's looking, things are starting to turn a bit more red on other coins as well. So that's probably also why it's kind of just rejecting and coming down. 4 hour. If we're just looking for levels that where we could bounce from, so obviously now it's rejected there. It's rejected here. Obviously double rejected those 2 times there. So if it is going to come down, I'll pull the pivots. Yeah, 9.8 cents lines up with this. Would it? But still, yeah, it would still be a higher low here, technically. So obviously into there. So obviously you had your low. So you technically still have all the structure if you come down to 9.8 cents local golden pocket D and POC, and then make another attempt at this this macro kind of level at about 11 cents. At this point, though, yeah, it's very choppy. It's like every other thing, but at least it's showing some signs that it wants to go up. But given it's rejected where it has, it's more than likely going to kind of trickle down a bit to get a bit more legs to go up. But that's also subject to the market conditions and going up as well. So if Bitcoin and alt stock going up, but dominant start dropping, and then it drops into there and puts a higher low, then obviously higher probability of it flipping this this macro value area low at like 11 cents.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, RMT basically saying, hey, yeah, here's why it bounced. They just had Coinbase perpetual futures announced in the past 2 days. I'm not a trader, but I would wait to see what settles out in the short term here. So yeah, RMT, good thoughts there, man. Good thoughts on that. There's always a reason, right? There's always a reason. So all right, DDT, I appreciate you doing that little cast for us. I do want to, what do we have here? We have about 15 minutes left, so we definitely want to hit the trip, and we definitely want to hit Jimmy Jim's stuff. So the trip, this is great, guys. So you guys do know that if you do have one of our Billy Goat Tales NFTs with the Easter egg code on it, it's in metadata, we are going to put you on a wheel. We're going to all you have to do is get to South Carolina. So that's your piece, but everything is free. A lake house, a boat. We have a big event in Greenville that you go to for free. Everything is free. The food is free. Dave said to me in the chat, well, everything? Do we supply them their clothes too, Dave? No. You got to bring your clothes. Okay, so let's be clear. You got to bring your clothes. But we're going to have it. You're going to meet with the team. It's going to be in October. I don't think. Are we going to announce? Did we agree to announce the dates, guys? Or are we just going to say
we got the dates ready?
Yeah. Okay. So
we have the dates ready. People can start planning.
Yeah, man. So that's a pretty big deal. So if you have that Easter egg and you get on the wheel, and then we spin the wheel and we pick your name, all you have to do is get there. Everything else is covered. So we get to hang out all weekend. Crypto Billy, Jimmy Jim, Tex-Mex Biomex, myself. We're going to go to the event. It's going to be fun. Maybe we're going to have some dinner, maybe go out on the boat, maybe cook a little something at the house, maybe get into some chats together and just cut up. So it's going to be a fun time.
And hopefully Pollo and Redman too. They couldn't make the meeting today, so we couldn't get their input on that. But you know, as far as if they're going to be there, that'd be great too. So yeah, it's going to be fun. October. We said October 9th through the 13th. So and it's a lake house. It's on beautiful Lake Hartwell. And we'll have a boat. We'll do some cooking out, grilling out, some steaks. There's a huge event going on at downtown Greenville. If you haven't Googled Greenville, South Carolina, you need to. It's has been voted many times top 5 best places to live in the nation. It's been number 1 a couple times, been number 3, number 5, number 10. You know, it moves around every year, but a lot going on. Beautiful city, beautiful time, good weather, and we're going to have a good time. And the key there is you just got to have the NFT with the Easter egg on it. We'll put you on the wheel. We'll spin it. We're going to do that in March. So we're going to actually be able to spin it in March. That gives you all of April, May, June, July, August, September. There's plenty of time to be able to book it, and we're going to have a great time. And that's just nothing extra. You got, for those of you that bought the NFT and supported us and our personal development book, we appreciate you. And every year we're going to do something like this for our NFT holders, just for holding it. Just if you have it, keep it. And we're going to just always try to add value for just supporting us every year.
So Wifey wants to know, even if she doesn't have the Easter egg, can she still go? And I'm going to answer this one personally. I would share my bed with Wick and Wick's wife. So I'm just saying, if we don't need an extra bed at all. So
yeah, you know, I will say this. We got to figure out. I will get a count on the beds. I know there's 6 easy, and it sleeps 10, I believe. But a couple of those would be if you have a husband and wife right in one bed or something like that. So I've stayed there before several times. So I know it's big enough, but if we run out of bedrooms and beds, we might be sleeping on cots and things like that. But which, hey, if as long as you're expecting that, you got to expect it. But we'll get back to you, Wifey. We'll get back to you. I need to dig in on that question and get the details for you. Yeah, pick up RMT. Yeah, RMT, that's close for you, man. You know, I drive up to, I think it's like 5 hours, 5.5 maybe hours from Nashville. So yeah, that'd be great. The other thing is, this isn't at my house, but my house is about 20 minutes away. And I have plenty of room at my house. So I guess we do have overflow. I guess we do have some overflow. Now I got to get my wife involved on that. So,
Oh no, we're all coming.
yeah. So she wouldn't care. I bet she'd be like, yeah, let's have some fun. Yeah, wifey. So Jimmy Jim, what's been happening in your world? Dave, you got to cue that up. Jimmy Jim's.
Well, there hadn't been any of that. No Lego.
No Lego. Okay.
No. Got a lot of stuff pre-ordered, but I think there were a couple of weeks out on any of the new stuff. But yeah, I did make my first PSA submission today. I submitted 22 cards. Let's see if it's going to be a boom or bust on those. That can be a blessing or a curse, depending on how they get graded. Because things that look like a 10 somehow come back 8s and 9s, and
only when you're drunk.
It's huh?
Only when you're drunk. They look like they wake up at a 5 or 6.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, we will be about 45 days out, probably, maybe a little bit more on getting all of that back. I'll be sure to do a reveal It'll be exciting. It's my first submission. I've never done it before. I mean, I've bought PSA graded cards, but I've never submitted myself. So, pretty high value cards.
Show us a couple.
Let's see here. I got a few back here. I know some of them I've shown before, but we're gonna submit some. We've got some 101s. Glare. We got some 101s in WWE and some nice autos. We got some 101 on gold vinyl. That's a pretty nice one there. And we got the big boy here. You know, I've shown that one before. We definitely need that one to come back at 10. That one's that's a big money card if it comes back at 10. And then I tapped into the Star Wars collection. Definitely want to get a few of these graded. We got a nice little Forrest Whitaker of 5 on a card there, signature. And then we've got these 3 that are pretty awesome. And these are 101s. They're artist sketches. You can't really see it on that one. You can definitely see it on this one, right about where my finger is. You can actually see all the marks on them. Nice one of Yoda. And then we got a little Freddie Prinze Jr. auto on there. And then probably the highest dollar signature is going to be this Felicity Jones out of 10 autograph. Cards clean, autos super clean, no smudges, no lift points. So that one could be turn into a really big money card. And then got a couple of Disneys, a little bit of Disney, little of 10. Whoa, bad glare on that one. Out of 10 Zurg from Toy Story. And then I got my 4 101s of Star Wars High Tech, a Bosk from Empire Strikes Back, Kiadi, Conehead Jedi, and everyone's favorite to hate, Jar Jar Binks, 101. And then lastly, we got a Watto 101. But we're going to send all of those in. I hope I get a bunch of 10s back, and then we'll bring those to market. Company's official. We filed our LLC, got the thumbs up back from the state. We'll open up some bank accounts this week and open the online store probably into March. I'm already working on that, but there's a lot to do there. And then hauling 500 pounds of salt today. That's about all that's been going on in Jimmy Jim's world.
That's all? Jimmy just opened up a new company, spent 30, 40, 50 grand on cards, probably going to make 100 grand on them, and loaded up 500 pounds of salt. That's a lot, Jimmy. That's a lot.
Day in the
man.
life.
Yeah, I think Dave, that's probably reason for celebration and opening the club up again, don't you think?
Bow, bow, bow.
Since Rocco's still in here, we gotta stay in contact in the back channels. I might just fly out there because I know those 2 ding dongs ain't watching the show. I might just fly out there that Monday morning, unannounced, and when it comes time, maybe I'll just run in the control room there and hit the button on them without them knowing I'm even there. That would be sweet.
Not next
And then I'll
week,
run behind the desk and I'll start thrusting on Dave, making him uncomfortable as hell.
Well, the only thing better than that would be with Biomex was with you and in the background doing his thing. Not next week, the following week, I'm going to be there. So we got the International Builder Show in Vegas. And so I've already contacted David Rocco. I don't know if you know that. I'm going to be there, not next week, the following week. I fly in on Monday. So one of those days, I'm definitely going to stop by the studio and hang out with you guys, man. So that's going to be fun. My Sin City crypto brothers, man, they're good people. If you haven't followed Sin City, you got to every 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Dave, Rob, Rocco, great people, great family. Got to check them out. Always bringing high quality, high production value in the crypto space. And, I get a lot of news from him. David's videos are fire, man. I don't know. He does it so seamlessly and easily, but he's got a lot of great fire videos that I use to catch up on my crypto news. I used to do that with Altcoin Daily, and I still do. But when you want to deep dive into a project, they're the place to go. They are the place to go, no doubt about it. So,
I was going to throw in there too. Tuesday, Grid nodes launch. They're only $250. You can run them yourself, or you can delegate. Looks like a promising project. I'm going to go do a little bit more research actually right after the show. I know Dr. Wookie dropped a really good video. Seems like it's a Docs team and a $250 entry point. That's pretty good. Looked like there was a decent ROI pretty quickly. So y'all might want to check that out.
Well,
yeah, man. And before we go to, I want to shout out to Crusader. So just really appreciate him, Miguel from Crypto Crusader, for talking to us, taking the time to hang out with us for about an hour before the show today. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, Crusader is a great dude, and there's going to be some collaboration, I'm sure, coming up with Crusader. I've known him for several years, Tony and I, for several years, and always appreciated everything he's done. Billy shouting out everyone but the star of the show, Ashley. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know if she's the star of the show in my book, but she can work up to that level. I don't think she's there yet, but she can definitely work up there. The star of the show is Rocco. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Rocco's the star of the show.
100%. It's Rocco. It's been Rocco since day one.
Yeah. What you got, Tony?
Nothing. I realized that when I did my hand gesture, can you hear me now? That's the first one. The second one.
He baited you. Dave baited him.
Billy's trying to go through a show without one of us saying, "Can you hear me now?" So
can we do it? Can we do it? Can you?
You're not going to make it easy on him, Tony.
No. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to be seeing if I can get into another master's program to figure out some data analytics and some other stuff.
Tony, didn't you have some alpha before we wrap up about Cornucopias?
Well, I did. So I just give a little bit of a teaser because I was looking for resources to share on screen and I didn't see any really just yet. But for those that may have Cornucopias nodes, the file nodes, they're really getting ready. Scruffy from their team put out a video and that's what I was looking for, but I couldn't find it as we were going through our stream. But they put out a video for those that want to be pool operators to go ahead and start prepping and getting that together using Docker. Jimmy, I was texting him in the back side to see if he could help me get things set up because I've got 8 file nodes.
You were texting what?
I was texting Jimmy to learn about how to set up these file node pools. To see if I needed to get a virtual private server.
I think he said he was testing your backside or something.
I heard something about my backside.
Come on. This is not Billy Goat Tales After Dark. You guys, you got to wait a few more minutes here.
But anyways, they're going to start allowing people to host their own private pools, and then which will then open up to public pools. So if you have 8 file nodes, you can have a public pool once they open that up. And so Cornucopia is starting to do that. And then I think at one point they're going to actually have a day where they ask everybody to delete the game from their computer and then reload it through, because this will let them test the file nodes servers all around to make sure that they get all the right metrics and make sure that the game downloads well. So
very cool.
I'm excited. So I'll have a little bit more in-depth information later once the details come out.
All right, guys, with that, I just want to remind everybody to make sure you check out the Nightcap tomorrow on Army Piper's channel with TradeFly. I'll be on there. We're doing a fireside chat. Also, Tuesday or X-Base at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Interlink on. And then hopefully on Wednesday, I'm going to be at Rice's studio, and we're going to just go live and just talk about crypto and what's going on in current events. So it's going to be a packed week. And then Crypto Coin Mindset with Keith is on Thursday. So yeah, we got a great little lineup for you guys. And with that, I'm going to say thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you all for coming in and spending your Sunday with us at Billy Goat Tales. We appreciate you. Have a great night.
We are Billy Goat Tales. We love you, fam. Hashtag GiversGain. 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 We are Billy Goat.